Hello, everybody. This is BJ the blogger, and I am doing my YouTube masterclass. Um, this masterclass is really to teach my followers and anybody that engages into my content the full three-step process that I have for becoming and transforming into your higher self. This is really the bare bones of the content that I teach and the training program that I put my clients through. So, of course, I'm gonna start off by saying, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. But we'll just go ahead and get right to it. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. All right. So again, this is a three-step process to transforming into your higher self. So first of all, just in case you guys don't know who I am, I'm going to introduce myself. So my name is BJ. I go by BJ the blogger. And I am a full-time life coach. I'm a higher self coach, and I am a spiritual advisor. So I study tarot, I study Jungian psychology, mindset mastery, spiritual wellness. I study a lot of thought leaders like Neville Goddard, Eckhart Tolle, just different thought leaders inside of the balancing between mindset, esoteric, spiritual space. And I use all of these thought practices to teach you how to become your higher self. So I have a lot of different forms of content, of free content. I have a podcast. I have my YouTube channel, which you're on right now. I have my Instagram where I share tons of free things. So that is my life purpose. That's my sole purpose, is to teach as many people as possible how to transform into their higher self. Most of my content is tailored towards Black women, but just people in general. So why listen to me, right? Why am I the expert on this thing? Listen, I've been there. I've been wherever you are at this current moment. For, I want to say maybe closer to like 5 years ago now, I was in an abusive marriage. I was, constantly cheating on my ex. I was probably getting cheated on. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I don't know. I just kind of felt like my life was passing me by. Like I was just sad. I was drinking all the time. I was smoking, hanging out with people I shouldn't have been hanging out with. I didn't have any confidence, just lacking overall direction. But I made it through it, and I studied and I learned, and I really like dug myself out of the hole that I was in. And listen, I did it by myself. I didn't have a therapist. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have any of those things. So it was hard. It took me 4 years to do it, but I was able to do it because I also had an interest in it. So I ended up becoming the person that I am today. I work full-time inside of a career that I love. I have a boyfriend of 3 years that I'm like completely obsessed with. I have my daughter. I'm just living a really great life. So yeah, I mean, I think that's what gives me a little bit of experience or expertise. So all of the things that I learned, I packaged it up and put it into a full program that I call the Higher Self Manual, which is a step-by-step process to becoming your higher self. And just to like give you an example of one of my clients, this is a testimonial. She said, after the program, I feel extremely self-aware. I've learned how to express my feminine energy in healthy ways and not use my masculine energy as a trauma response. I also learned how to be intentional about rejecting negative thoughts and content. So ultimately, going through a higher self journey can really transform your life. And like I said, all of the things that I studied, I put it together inside of this manual. But of course, I'm giving you guys the bare bones of it for free. Of course, I'm not going to give all of it to you for free because this is a paid program that I have active clients in. But I do want to share some of the information with you because I think it's really good information. I'm just going to get a sip of my tea before we continue. Okay, so what we're going to go over today. So there is, like I said, it's a 3-step process. The first process is healing. So when we're healing, we must heal the unconscious and subconscious parts of ourselves so we can reclaim control over our actions and our beliefs. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done. There's a lot of unlearning that needs to be done in order for us to get back to our whole selves, who we were when we were born. So that's the first step. And we're going to go into more detail about that a little bit later in the presentation. The second step is manifestation and attraction. And manifestation is the hot topic word, right? And law of attraction. These are like big words, trigger words for people, but a lot of people really don't understand how it works. But ultimately, we must learn how to connect with our intuition so we are making aligned choices and become more intentional about where we are focusing our energy. Manifestation and attraction, they're not these magical things. The thing about it is, it's just not a lot of people know how to do it, but it's not one of these things that's just like, I have to have a magic wand in order to do it. Everybody is capable of manifesting, and everybody is capable of attracting the things that they want. It's about how are you aligning your actions to your soul and your intuition. And as you maintain that alignment, you start to manifest the things in your life that you really want, and you start to attract those things inside of your life. It starts to meet you halfway. So that's the second phase. And then the third phase is self-mastery. So we must learn to transmute negative energy and align every interaction with our higher self so it reaffirms our greatness. The self-mastery portion is the long-term portion. It is how you are approaching situations that are good, situations that are bad, but any situation that you're in, how are you approaching it objectively? So no matter what is going on, you're still realigning it to your higher self. So we're just going to dive a little bit deeper inside of each one of these phases. So the first phase is healing. So there's many facets of the personality that we are trying to heal. But in my opinion, the most important facets is one, the ego. The ego, that is a part of your personality that is parenting you, the part of your personality that was developed externally over time. Healing that so that that voice becomes your motivation, becomes your cheerleader. The second part is healing the inner child. How are we healing our inner voice, our intuitive voice, the voice that is aligned with joy and wonder and curiosity? How do we heal that so that we feel confident to move inside of alignment with our inner child? How do we heal those wounds from the way that we were parented so that we reclaim power over the way that we interact with people? Because the way that we were parented has a direct impact on the way that you interact with others as an adult. The next piece is balancing your masculine and feminine energy. Again, a lot of my program is really tailored towards women, and specifically Black women, because we tend to have that masculine, feminine energy imbalance, which causes us to become controlling. It causes us to lose our softness. It causes us to lose connection with our creative energy. And it makes it hard for us to find partners that are balanced inside of their masculine energy. So then a lot of times, if you don't have that balance with your masculine and feminine energy internally, then it causes an imbalance inside of our romantic relationships. So it's really important for us to balance that masculine and feminine energy so we can get back to, womb wellness, get back to being that soft, creative, flowy type of personality that is natural inside of when you are a woman. And then the last piece is learning the energy of emotions. If you can understand how emotions have a direct frequency inside of the way that it projects things out into the universe, which ultimately causes you to attract that same frequency of whatever that item is, you learn to become more controlling of the way that you react to people and the way that you react to situations. And we talk about the full spectrum of emotions in terms of what are high frequency emotions and what are low frequency emotions, and how you can kind of counteract that at a real time level. So all of these make up the healing phase of the journey. And that is a very first phase and the most important phase of being able to transform into your higher self. Maybe you know exactly who you want to be. Maybe you know exactly who your higher self is. And you're like, look, Brittany, I want to manifest it right now. Okay, understood. But we need to make sure that you've healed all of your wounds first. And once we have a full understanding that you've healed all your wounds, then we know for certain that the things that you're manifesting are things that you actually want, that your soul and your spirit, down to your soul, energetic God consciousness level, that is something that you are trying to express inside of the world. You don't want to manifest and attract things that you really don't want, that are projections from your friends and projections from your parents and things that you've seen on social media. You want to make sure that these are things that you truly want. And that's why the healing phase is so important. And just to go through another testimonial from one of my clients, she said, I was having a problem with self-love and worth. Through some past traumas and childhood experiences, I traveled through life believing my purpose was to be a strong Black mother, wife, partner, friend, etc. I did not fully comprehend how much power I possessed in my own happiness and joy. Once you heal the wounds, you reclaim power over your life. You reclaim power over the decisions that you're making on a daily basis. So that's why the healing phase is so important. So the second phase is manifesting and attracting. So the first part of this phase is well, actually, let me circle back a little bit. So like I said, manifesting and attracting isn't like this big woohoo type of thing. Manifesting and attracting is really about who am I on an inherent soul level, and how am I aligning the action, the masculine energy that I'm projecting out? How am I aligning that masculine energy so that I am confident and focused on the things that I need to accomplish? And then my feminine energy, how am I setting myself up so that I am operating on the same frequency as the thing that I actually want, so that it comes to me and meets me halfway? So it is manifesting is the masculine energy, again, that we heal inside of the healing phase. And then the attraction part is the feminine energy. And that is, again, that is a part of your energy that you heal inside of the healing phase. So one part of this is figuring out, understanding your comfort zone and your risk tolerance level. This is all something that comes with confidence. This is all something that comes with understanding who you are as a person. So that is a big part of manifesting, is being comfortable with being uncomfortable and being willing to take risks. So we talk about that in a little bit more detail inside of the full program. And then your habits and your routines. Listen, your habits and your routines make up about 80% of your day. It makes up a lot of the things that are happening on autopilot, the things that you're doing that you don't even have to think of. So if you can master your habits and your routines, you can master your life, because all of the habits and routines that you do on a daily basis, they add up to who you are as a person. So if you are operating on autopilot and you're allowing your inner child and you're allowing your ego to determine what your habits are and what your routines are, then you are not in alignment with your higher self. So you have to develop habits and routines that are in direct alignment with who your higher self is. The third piece is the belief system. So the belief system is really, how are we reprogramming our subconsciousness so that we have full belief in ourselves that we are going to be able to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. An example of subconscious reprogramming is affirmations, and everybody knows about affirmations. That's when you wake up in the morning and you say, I am pretty, I am loved, I am confident, all of these things. So affirmations is one activity that you can do in order to reprogram your subconsciousness. So that is how you create a belief system that is in alignment with your higher self. And the last piece is the higher self map. And the higher self map is really putting all of this together. It is creating a full map that says, this is who my higher self is. This is who my higher self is in regards to my relationships, in regards to how I'm going to be successful in the world, in regards to what are my eating habits? What does my higher self look like? What does my higher self smell like? What does my higher self eat on a daily basis? You know what I mean? So it's really just fully defining, creating a full map of who your higher self is, and making sure that what you're doing on a daily basis is in alignment with that. So all of this makes up manifesting and attracting what you want. Again, it is intentional action in alignment with your soul purpose. So another testimonial that one of my clients said was, I feel proud of my accomplishments and I have met some of my many goals of losing weight. I learned new tips to keep myself from eating unhealthy and apply them in different ways. I learned to go with my gut and I learned some new terminology. Again, this is about real tangible results. This is about real life manifestations of creating the things that you want inside of your life over time. But it first begins with knowing exactly what you want and being intentional about the things that you do in order to get that. So the last piece that the last phase of the 3-step process of becoming your higher self is self-mastery. Self-mastery, again, like I talked about in the beginning, is about being in full control of your emotions, is being in full control over your reactions, and being in full control over your perception of what's going on inside of your life. So self-mastery is a long-term reprogramming approach to the way that you deal with life and life situations in order for you to maintain alignment and maintain yourself on the same frequency of your higher self. So the first thing is boundaries and projections. You have to create very strong and intentional boundaries around yourself so that anything that is not upholding who your higher self is not allowed inside of your space. I mean, like ultimately, if it's not reaffirming your vision, it doesn't belong to you. So that's what boundaries and projections are about. The next is presence and prosperity. It's about living and operating in flow, operating in presence, maintaining, understanding that the present moment is what's most important, not being defined by our past, not being defined by what this goalpost that we have for ourselves. It's about being present and how being present ultimately makes you become prosperous. The next piece is the frequency of abundance. It's really about how do I turn myself into an abundant being so that I can attract abundance. And again, it's very simple. It sounds like this mystical thing, but it's really not a super complicated thing. It's just really about maintaining a frequency level so that you are on the same vibes that, you know, some people say, like, if you're on the same frequency level, it is easier for that to become to attract to you. And then the last piece and the most important piece of this entire puzzle is reaffirming the vision. How am I going to maintain a perception that anytime I'm inside of any situation, I'm always going to uphold my vision for who my higher self is? It is about being your biggest cheerleader. It is about understanding that the world is not out to get you. It is understanding that every obstacle is an opportunity for you to reaffirm your vision. And once you learn how to be good at reaffirming your vision, you are not fearful and you walk into every situation. You actually are, you walk into obstacles. You want to go into complicated situations, and you want to go in the direction of things that feel hard because it gives you an opportunity to turn it into an opportunity. It sounds stupid, but I mean, like, that's what it is. You create these opportunities for yourselves for you to reaffirm your vision. So all of that makes up self-mastery. And another testimonial that one of my clients said was, I developed the ability to stop obsessing over the goal, the end goal. You can have goals. That's fine. It's totally fine. But ultimately, you want every single moment of your day to be in alignment with who your higher self is. So even day 1 or day 2, day 20, day 100 of your higher self journey, you already are your higher self. You're just a different version. You just are in the process of shedding layers. So it's like, even if you haven't met your end goal, you're still accomplishing exactly what you want to accomplish. So you're still happy. You're happy at every point of the process. So that is something that I also teach, is about being happy and content at every phase of yourself, and being proud of yourself and loving yourself at every phase. So at the end of the day, no matter how you decide to go through the journey of becoming your higher self, it is absolutely worth every second. And that is because this is learning that lasts a full lifetime. This isn't something that, you go to sleep and you forget about tomorrow. Maybe you've gone through programs, or maybe you've learned things on, the great teacher of the internet in your past, that you went to sleep and you forgot about it. But that's because you didn't go through the full entire process of reprogramming the way that you approach life. When you go through the full reprogramming, which you can do through my program if you want to be a part of that, when you go through a full reprogramming, this isn't something that just disappears. It completely transforms the way that you approach everything inside of life, the good things and the bad things. And you just create a higher caliber of everything that you want in your life, higher caliber of food, higher caliber of people. And it's defined by whatever you want it to be defined as, but it is a full journey of understanding self. And it's a beautiful journey. So at the end of the day, if you want to work with me, you can visit bjtheblogger.com and book a coaching session or a complete program. If you've gone through this full masterclass, I thank you. I'm sending so much abundance and love inside of your direction. But my masterclass students do get 10% off of program packages. So what you'll do, and again, this is just program packages. You won't get any discount on booking just a single session. This is just the packages that are 9+ weeks. So if you want to get the discount, what you'll do is you fill out the contact form, which I'm going to put links to the contact form inside of the notes for this YouTube. But I'm also going to, you can also find the contact form at bjtheblogger.com. And if you look at my coaching services, it'll say fill out a contact form here. If you have any questions about it, you can DM me on Instagram. I'm BJ the Blogger on Instagram, but you'll fill out a contact form. And oh yeah, and inside of my Instagram, inside of my link tree, it says where you can fill out a contact form as well. So you can get a contact form anywhere, girl. So you'll fill out a contact form, and when it says, how did you hear about my service? You'll put YouTube Masterclass. And once you do that, after we go through a dream life assessment, then I will send you a proposal, and that contract would actually have the discounted rate on there. So what are your options for a package? So your first option is the full transformation coaching package. And that is where we have our initial assessment. The initial assessment call is free. And then we do, I create a custom transformational roadmap with sections of the program that are best suited for the client situation. So if you saw before, I actually have 16 lessons, but everybody doesn't need to go through every single lesson. So I give you a custom roadmap based on the way that you are learning in your situation. So the full transformational package is actually 14 out of the 16 lessons. And in addition to going through 14 weeks of one-on-one coaching with me, you also get a copy of all of the program slides and you also get access to bonus content for 12 months. So what I'm also offering my students that go through a full package is anytime I create paid content, they would get access to that paid content for 12 months. So while they're going through their journey, I would also be giving them additional free content. And a lot of that free content is going to be worth way more money than what you would pay for the coaching program. So that is one option. That's the 14-week option. And then the second option is a lifestyle coaching package. You receive all of the same benefits. It's 9 weeks of virtual coaching instead of 14. The lifestyle coaching program is for women that don't feel like they need to go through a full transformation. They just need some help getting back on track. The full transformation package is more for women that have just gone through a major life event, like a breakup. They maybe lost their job, going through a job change, things like that. Even if you got into a bad car accident and you felt like it was God smacking you upside your head, a full transformation coaching package would probably be good for you. Whereas if you just feel like you really need some coaching and you need some help kind of getting your life guided back on track, the lifestyle coaching package would probably be more for you. But whatever you want to do, you're going to get really great benefits from it. And also, before I end the presentation, if you want to book a single coaching session with me, you absolutely have that as an option. You would fill out the coaching form, the contact form, the same exact way. The only difference is when you fill out what you're interested in. Let me go back. It has a section that says, what service are you interested in? You would choose one-on-one coaching service, and it would send you booking information from there. Okay. So again, thank you guys for going through this full presentation. I appreciate it. And if you are interested in learning more about the things that I teach, again, I have tons of free content. You can follow me on Instagram, which is BJ the Blogger. You can follow, I have a podcast that is available on pretty much every podcast platform, and that is the Soul Patterns Podcast. Soul, SOUL, Patterns, PATTERNS. So the Soul Patterns Podcast and my YouTube, which you're on right now. So those are all available with tons of free content, as well as my website. I do have a blog on my website, which is bjtheblogger.com. And I have tons of free information on there. And I'm going to have a free course on there pretty soon too. So if you want to get some more information, you will have that available to you as well. So again, thank you guys very, very much for, going through this full presentation. That was not short by any means. So girl, you might be ready. You might be ready to go through a transformation, but I will catch you guys next time. Bye.